What's going on YouTube? Jason's Dragonbane here, and I'm going to keep trying to upload as many of the Transmodify 3.5 Fire Fists as I can for you guys. So that being said, we have 4 duels for today. A lot of these are my opponents either raging because they fall into traps or because they just don't really think about the situations that are going on. So the first one we have against is racoons. I'll admit my opening hand against this raccoon player was actually not great because he actually did stop a lot of my combos and it took me a while to get going. So I went into leopard into Tensu and he had Missy, so I was like, oh crap, I'm stalled right there. So I just set Tensen. I was like, okay. So he goes into the Tan into the whatever that one is that pops one of my cards. So he now has the token, which apparently is way over there now. So I was like, okay, I draw into Tenki, which is actually one of the best things I could have drawn into. So I went Rooster to switch out the Tenki into Tensu, transmodified him into Dragon, played Tensu to get Dragon's effect. Now I summoned the Spirit, used Spirit's effect to grab Rooster, used his effect to grab Gorilla, swapped out for Gyoko, managed to hit Mirror Force, which was one of the best things I probably could have. I summoned Raven, so next turn I could sack him for Swallow if I have to. Dragon gets DP'd. Horse Prince kills over the token. Pass my turn to him. He summons Raiko, or flips Raiko. Hits Tenken, so I protect Horse Prince. Raven now protects the Tenken. So he bounces Raven. This is where he made one critical mistake is he forgot that while Tenken is on him, Gyoko is no longer affecting him, so Horse Prince became a 100 point stronger. This was actually my misplay. Instead of summoning Leopard, I should have just summoned Gorilla, let Horse Prince kill over the token, let Gorilla hit the XZ, and then I would have gotten a Tenki anyways. So that was my misplay on this, because I forgot he still does have a material, so he's going to just make another token to make over my Horse Prince. So that was my misplay in this duel. I'm going to make sure I never do something like that again. So he hits me for the damage, sets another 10-10. I was like, okay, summon Gorilla, kill the XZ, put Tenki down, Tenki into Wolfbark, set the Fiendish Chain, and pass. So he goes and flips Rascal. I Fiendish Chain it because I can't afford to let him get stuff off. So he has Junk Synchron. He makes Gachi Gachi out of it. Hits me for quite a bit of damage. I was like, okay. So I draw into Padua. I was like, okay, summon Dragon, use his effect, summon out Gorilla from the graveyard, make Cardinal, bounce away Gachi Gachi and the Downward Magician. Now we kill the Junk Synchron, set Pod Duality as a bluff, pass turn. So he sets Raiko and passes. I was like, okay, we're going to go into Tiger King into Bear, so that the face down is not a problem, because I already know he plays Raiko. So Tensu, summon Bear, Bear effect, pop the Raiko, and that would have been game. So that was a fun little duel against Raccoons, and we'll move on to the next game. Alright guys, then we're back for the second game of this video, and it happened to be against a Banish Inferno Tempest deck. I basically knew I was fighting a Banish deck because he actually never really got anything going. So his opening hand was just absolutely funny with triple Banish for the Reigns, double Inferno Tempest, and the Mirror Force. I managed to hit the Mirror Force with Misty. I hardly ever seen him do that. So I was like, okay, go Tenki into Gorilla. Pray to God Gorilla got through. He managed to hit, so I was like, okay, now we'll Gyoko that backfield. And we'll just pass turn there. Knowing Gorilla's pretty safe with Fiendish Chain and Tenken. So he goes into Zen Mains off with Tour Guide, passes turn. I was like, okay, that's fine. So I draw into Rooster. I was like, okay, summon Rooster, switch out for Tenki, play Tenki for the Spirit, even though Spirit couldn't do anything. And then I went to Line Emperor, and that's where he quit. I'm not sure exactly why he quit right there. Because yes, I could have Fiendish Chained Zen Mains, easily gone over it, and then hit for damage, but that's really all I was going to do in this turn. I couldn't even activate Line Emperor's effect because I had nothing in the grave to even try and get back. So, but it was a fun little duel. It shows that this deck can fight decks that have an automatic advantage against it. And we'll go on to the next game. Okay guys, and we're back for the third one. This was actually supposed to be a match against this deck, but he ended up quitting in between game 1 and 2, so we never got to game 2. So I'll just show you guys the first game of the duel. So he goes Lone Fire into Dandelion and sits on that. I was like, okay. Drawn to Misty, I was like, okay, we'll summon Leopard uses effect for Tensu. Play Tensu, summon Dragon, kill the Dandelion, so he'll get the tokens. We'll set 4 back row, pass turn. So he draws on Dark Hole, so he goes the Solar Nutrient to summon the Lone Fire. I mistied it once the Lone Fire was summoned. So he uses Cyber Valley to draw 2, and I was like, okay, open field. So I go summon Bear, summon Rooster, switch it out for Tenki. Tenki grabs Spirit, Dragon set the Tenkin. Swing with everything. Bear's going to set Gyoko in case he sets Backfield on his next turn. And he didn't want to drop Drag because he did have the Dark Hole, but he knew I set Tenkin, so I'm not sure why. So he literally goes and tries the Dark Hole. Dragon set Tenkin, so Cardinal's now safe, and Rooster is going to be in the grave for Spirit to grab him. So he goes trying, does Mark of the Rose. He doesn't get my Cardinal until the battle phase officially begins, and at that point it's too late to switch him. So I go Spirit into Rooster, switch out some formations, grab Swallow. I grabbed Swallow because at this point I still haven't used my second normal summon. Cardinal still has this Mark of Rose on him, so I can easily sack away Cardinal, summon Swallow, and he now has officially gone minus. And now if he tries anything like that again, Swallow's preventing that. So Swallow hits, and then I just Tensin to make it game, because this was a match and I was like, let's just move on to game 2, but he ends up quitting in between the game. And we've got one more duel to go. Alright guys, and we are back for the last duel, and I was having a really fun time in this duel. With the release of the Dragons of Legend, the hand deck that is running Fire Hand and Ice Hand is going around. I really thought that's what I was fighting for the longest time, and it's actually what I thought I was fighting the whole time until I got into the replay, which just turned out to be a God card deck instead, just teching those cards. But so I went first, and I was like, okay, go Tenki into Leopard. We're just going to summon Bear, set Mirror Force and Tensin, and pass. He does something really strange and misties the face-up Tenki. I was like, okay then. We'll summon Leopard and get another Tenki. Because I was thinking, okay, he really wanted to make sure that thing was protected because it was like Raikou, but it turned out to be Firehand. I was like, oh, I was not expecting that. So I was like, okay, set Venus Chain and we'll pass turn. He sets another Firehand. This is one thing if you play the hand deck, you really got to watch out for, is drawing these in multiples. Because this Firehand has already summoned this Ice Hand, so that's their combo piece. This one now has only one Firehand left to grab, and this one has still 2 Ice Hands. So he's not completely out of the combo yet, but he's running out of that combo really fast. So I go into the Horse Prince combo to summon Rooster, grab Swallow again, because if Firehand cannot destroy the monster, then Ice Hand can't be summoned. So if I can get Swallow on board against his Firehands, then he will stop running out of that combo. So I didn't attack him for that very reason. So he goes Summoner Monk, dishes the Upstart Golem, and then summons the third Firehand. I was like, it's like he's wasting these Firehands really quick, because now he knows I grabbed Swallow. He must have not read what Swallow does, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. But now this Firehand has 1 Ice Hand to grab, and this one has 1 Ice Hand to grab, and this Ice Hand has nothing it can grab. The combo cannot continue on from there. So I was like, okay, it's now my turn. I draw on the Bear. I was like, okay, sack him for Swallow. Now I have 2 free targets basically to hit, because Summoner Monk I don't have anything to worry about, and Firehand can't target my monsters, so he can't use the combo. I was like, okay, he's going to set another one. I was like, okay. So I decided to Tenkin on the Horse Prince to get the draws, and then I summoned Raven. I was like, if he decides to target Tensin, Tensin's going to be safe. And if he targets Venus Chain or Mirror Force, then I still have other things to go. So he goes Soul Charge into Firehand and Summoner Monk. Goes into the Extinction Knight. I wait for the right moment. We Venus Chain on his effect. He now can't blow up my field. And basically now, he got nothing out of it. He's in a losing situation. So I was having a really good time at this point, because I knew his entire hand combo was completely dead at this point. He had no Fire Hands left in the deck, and his only out to basically my fully set up field, I still had an answer for. So tell me what you guys are thinking of the deck. I'm having a lot of fun playing it. Transmodify has been playing really well. Magic Planner's been playing really well. And as always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe.